Okay, so before we start, I want to give a disclaimer. Currently, I'm using VMware, a virtual machine, to show you how to download Linux and set up your Minecraft server. Have in mind, some things might be different because VMware can be very picky sometimes, but I'll let you know if something shows up. But the first thing you want to do when you create your new Linux server is highlight try or install Ubuntu server and press enter. So now it's going to do its first boot. It might take a couple minutes, but I'll go ahead and skip this part so we can move to the next step. Okay, so now in the welcome page, just select the correspondent language for yourself. For the sake of this video, I'll go ahead and select English. So highlight it and press enter. So most of this video, I'll just say press enter, but what I'm meaning is highlight done, which usually in Linux is already highlighted. But just highlight done and press enter. So for this, just press enter. For this part, make sure the X is next to Ubuntu server. So that's what we need at this moment. So if it is, go ahead and press enter. So give it a couple seconds for the DHCP to load. Once it loads, go ahead and press enter. You can go ahead and press enter. For this, it might take a couple seconds for it to complete its test. Make sure you wait for it to say pass test, because if you just press enter really quickly, it will give you an error message. But once you see the screen like this, press enter. Scroll all the way down, highlight done, and press enter. Just press enter, highlight continue, and press enter. So now it's going to give you a couple of ask you a couple of questions. So it's asking for your name. Let's call it Aramis, which is my name. The server, let's call it Steve. And then for the username, let's call it AG admin. And then for password, create a very safe password. And then press done. So we can go ahead and skip this and press enter. So for this, we want to install OpenSSH server. It should already have the cursor flashing. So just press enter to select it. We will need OpenSSH for the feature. So just scroll down, highlight done, and press enter. We really don't need any of this. So just highlight done, press enter. So this is what's going to take the longest. So now it's trying to install all the system information it needs to create the Linux server. It might take a couple minutes for it to load up and boot. I'll go ahead and skip this part because it will take a very long time, so we can move to the next step. Okay, so once we see this reboot now, it means that the Linux server was able to finish all of its system updates. So once it shows you this, highlight reboot now and press enter. So now it might show you this failed. It might be just because I'm using VMware, but just press enter and then it's going to boot up for the first time. Okay, so once you see this is a good sign, I'll go ahead and skip this step so we can move to the next, but it might take a couple of minutes for the system to boot up for the first time. Okay, so you might see this screen for the first time. Don't panic, just press enter and it's gonna show you the login screen. So for the first time, just type your login name, your username, and then the password you created. And then once you see the welcome to Ubuntu, you're in the Ubuntu server. So for the first thing we want to do, write down the IPv address. We will need that for the future. If you don't see it, just type IPA and then underneath the number 2, if you see INET, it'll show you the IP address, which is 192.168.79.136. So after that, the first thing we also do as well is do the necessary updates and upgrades. If you see on top, it says 18 updates can be applied. So for any new computer, we want to do that as well. So you just type sudo apt update and So we're doing updates and upgrades at the same time. So you just type the same, pretty much the same thing, sudo apt upgrade. Make sure you type it like this. Linux can be very case sensitive. So if you add an extra S or a capital word, it might not work. But once you do, press enter, input your password, and press enter. It might ask you why, yes, so like this, do you want to continue? Type Y, press enter. And now it's going to do all the necessary updates and upgrades. So I'll go ahead and skip this part so we can move to the next step. Okay, so once this shows up, you can just scroll down. If you can scroll more, press tab and then press enter. And then we're good. So we were successfully able to create a Linux server and set everything up. So our next step is downloading Minecraft and setting the Linux server up for that. So I'll move to Windows a Windows screen because personally I like to use SSH to be able to create my servers. So I'll move to that now. Okay, so now that we're in our Windows computer, we want to make sure we have OpenSSH available for our Windows computer. So to check that, we just go to search and just type add option features. And then if you scroll down, you might see it already installed. It should be OpenSSH client. But if you don't have it, just go here to view features, type open, and then just click it, next, and then add. So I'm not going to do it for this because this is a server and I'm not using that for now. So now that we know that we have OpenSSH, we move to our next step. So we need to open PowerShell. So just type Windows PowerShell. So we want to access our Linux computer. So the way we do that is just by typing SSH space your username, in my case admin at, and then your IP address. So in case you don't have your IP address, you will have to go back to your Linux computer and just type IPA and it should provide you the IP address. But once you type all of this information on your PowerShell, type enter. You need to accept the connection, so just type yes and then enter again. And it will ask you your Linux password. Just type that in and then you're in the Linux computer. So we need to move to the next step. So for now, we need to download Java. So the way we download Java, and it's a really simple procedure, Linux really does it really nicely where it just tells you what to do. So you just type Java version and then it's going to give you all the versions that it can download. For Minecraft, we will need 17 or higher. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and download version 17, but you should be able to download 18 and 19 if you want to, and there should be no issue. Just make sure you only download one. So the way we download, and it actually tells you how to type it out. So you just type sudo apt install openjdk 17 ere and then enter. Then your password and press Y, enter, and then give it a minute for it to download. It might take a couple of seconds. Okay. Okay, so for this, we can just go ahead and press tab and then OK. Perfect. So now we need to create a directory and some files. So cd space opt and then sudo mkdir minecraft. So that's what we're going to call our file. And then we want to go into that Minecraft file. and we are in the Minecraft file. So now we need to actually download Minecraft. So type sudo wget, and then to be able to download this, we will need the HTTP link, and I'm actually using PaperMC. So you just type PaperMC to your browser, then click here, okay, and then you just right click it and copy link address. And then with PaperMC, it's just a really good software where it helps and fixes a lot of things from the vanilla game. It really focuses on performance, so it really fixes a lot of performance issues from the vanilla game, and it just really helps you. And we open it again, helps you like download plugins, mods, and it's a really good community. I do suggest searching. This is not the only one available out there. You might want to do another type of software, but for the sake of this video, and I'm already custom with PaperMC and I really enjoy it. So I'm just going to use PaperMC, but there's a lot of other ways to download Minecraft. So once we have the link, just press enter for it to start downloading. Perfect. So now we need to start our server. So you type sudo java xms2g and then xmx8g, and then this is just saying that the server can start with a minimum of a 2 RAM and then a maximum of 8 RAM. So you can change this if you are making a higher end server. So once you do that, opt Minecraft paper. So I do suggest for this part just copying and pasting this, because right now the version that PaperMC is using is this 0.20.4, and they do a lot of updates, so this might be different. Right now it's April 11th, so it might be different from a week from now. It shouldn't change anything, but just make sure we are using the correct type, because if this is different than this, then it's not gonna download. So once we do that, type Nugui and then enter. Now it's gonna try and download Minecraft, but it would fail because we need to accept the terms and conditions for Minecraft. So in a minute you might see that. See, failed to load EULA. You need to agree to the EULA in order to run the server. So the way we do that is just typing sudo nano eula.txt and enter. And then we want to change this EULA from false to true. Then Control X, press Y, then press enter. And then we just start the server again. So you don't have to type all of the sudo java xms2g. If you use your up arrow, it takes you back to your last command and you just press enter, and then it should start the server. So while the server starts, let's start opening Minecraft. So you go, let's see if I'm correct, this one. Okay, so it might take a couple of minutes or seconds. This is the first time it's loading. So I think they already started, so we should be good. So now we need to wait for Minecraft to load. So just make sure we're using Java Edition. If you use another edition, it might not work at all. So this server is specifically for Java. So let's wait for this to start. It might take a couple seconds. Okay, so we go to multiplayer. This is another server I had. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. And then just press add server. And then here we want to use the IP address. It's gonna be the same one we used to enter SSH. So just type your IP address, and then you can name the server whatever you want. I'm just gonna call it Steve. Done. Did I put it correctly? Yeah, 192 point. Oh, my mistake. I put 138 instead of 168. Just double check that's correct. Okay, so hopefully now it connects. So now we are joining the world, and you'll see that someone joined, and this is their username, join the game. So it seems it's working fine. Seems everything's working fine. So now we are into our own personal Minecraft server. Perfect. So sadly we have to disconnect from this because we need to do a couple of changes. So let's go ahead and stop the server. So you just type stop. And then what we need to do next is change a couple of things from the server properties. So remember we want to use this as a educational server. So the way I'm going to do that is changing some things here, and we're actually using command blocks, which I feel is a very good introduction to programming. So just go ahead. You should already be into the Minecraft server. I'm sorry, the Minecraft file. So if you're already there, just type dir, and then it's gonna give you all the files in there. So we wanna go into server properties. So type sudo nano server dot properties and enter. And here you can change so many things. For example, game mode, you can change it to creative. You can change PvP if you like don't want your students fighting. If you're using a Minecraft server for educational purpose, just put false. And then we want to use command block, so you just put true. And then to save all the changes, you just press Ctrl X, Y, enter. And then we can start our Minecraft server. Just use those up arrows and enter. Okay, so now that the server started again, let's go back to our Minecraft multiplayer. Let's wait for it to ping the server. Give it a minute. So once you see this, it means it's connected. So click the play button so it can enter the world. Perfect. So before we do anything, we need to give ourselves OP credentials. So the way we give ourselves that, and it is very crucial to be able to use command blocks, make some changes in the world. So it's really simple. You just type OP, and then the user you want to give those OP credentials. I'm just gonna copy, paste, and then enter, and then made user server operator. So go back to the game, and it's gonna say the same thing, server made user operator. So let's go back to this game, and the first thing we want to do is make the game creative, because we won't be able to use command blocks if the game is in survivor mode. So you just type this, and then type game mode creative, and then it's in creative. See, we can fly now, so that's a good way to know we're in creative. Let me see if I can find some flat places. Okay, so this should be okay for what I'm going to show you now. So now we need some items for to be able to use our command block. So again, open these command prompts and then type give at self command block. And then you can actually use your up and down arrows to select something and press tab. That way you don't have to type all of that. Then enter and you have it on your inventory. And then we will need another thing. So again, we use give at self and then lever. Press enter and we have a lever. So just an introduction, maybe you're using this server like maybe educational purposes. Let's place this and this and then, oop, okay. So maybe we want to give our students a message. So the way we do that is title at A, which stands for everyone. Title again, curly brackets, text, welcome students. Perfect. And then just make sure it doesn't say needs redstone. Well, does it say needs redstone? Because if you click it, it will only work with redstone. So always active, and then impulse just means that it's going to be used one time. This one called chain, where it's just going to do a chain reaction with other command blocks, and then repeat, which it will just repeat the same console command non-stop. So done. And then let's see if it works. Welcome students. It's a really good thing. You can actually make it bold or even change the color, make it red. Perfect. So another good example is night and day. So let's see if we can make that. So the way we make this, and let's make it a day. So time set day. Really simple commands. And then let's make this night. Time set night. And then let's activate it. And now it's night. Let's activate this one. And now it's day. It's really fun things you can do. And my favorite one, and I'll show you in a minute, it's a summon. So just type summon giant. You can type tab so you don't have to write all of that. And then let's activate it. And it summons a giant creature. So that's all I have. I hope this has been helpful. Again, I do believe this is a great way to start teaching the basics of programming. It does teach very similar concepts within programming. So just give it a try. There's a lot of plugins if you want to do maybe a server for classes. Sorry, suggest looking that up. I also suggest looking different commands and different projects you can do with command blocks. Command blocks are a great way to get people interested, and it's Minecraft. A lot of people still enjoyed Minecraft. So again, just try it out and let me know how it goes. Thank you.